another review. Today I have a retro review, and it is one that I just barely consider a retro review just for the sake of the name, but something that is obviously not old. A lot of what I review for retro reviews is not old in the grand scheme of things, but this one is a Clone Wars figure, of which I don't do a whole lot of anymore. I did review several Clone Wars figures like really early on in my channel, yes, this is one I actually have never gotten, and I found her pre-owned at Vintage Stock for $7.99, which I actually thought was a really good deal for a Clone Wars figure, considering how pretty sought after they are nowadays in the, I guess, aftermarket, if you would, because they're obviously not in stock anymore. But this is the Ahsoka in her spacesuit. It has been a long time since I've watched the Clone Wars, and so I don't remember the episode that this comes from, but I do know that I had Anakin in spacesuit and Obi-Wan in spacesuit, and I never got Ahsoka. I ended up selling Obi-Wan and Anakin in spacesuit at a time when I thought that maybe I should get rid of some figures for some reason, back in like 2011, and now I have Ahsoka and no Obi-Wan and no Anakin, but whatever. So anyways, like I said, I got this pre-owned $7.99, which I thought was a good deal. This is in the old 2009 Clone Wars packaging. You can tell by the red and white angular shape of the card. You can see Ahsoka in here with just profound, man, removable helmet. So that's an exciting play feature. If you didn't know, her helmet that's not on her head is removable. Who would have thought? She's from the Clone Wars. You've got her name at the bottom here, and a good picture right here, and then the Star Wars logo there. On the back, you get a picture of the figure, a picture of the character in the episode, a little bit of a bio, and at the time when these came out, the bios are really specific to the character and costume. This is something that is totally something what we don't get today, I guess. Did that make any sense? This is totally something that isn't seen today. But anyways, this little bio talks specifically about her spaceship, or her space journey. And then she's number 23. You can see CW23 because they also had Saga Collection and stuff like that. So it was like SC, so they differentiated the numbers that way. At the bottom, you have the rest of the line. And 2009, this is still pretty early on in the Clone Wars. Right before that, you had the 2008 packaging with the debut of the line of figures. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and open her up to give you a closer look and explore this figure. I'm really excited because I've never had her before, so let's crack into it. Alright, so here is Ahsoka out of the package, and man, she is tiny. Little bitty. Partly because I'm so used to reviewing 6-inch figures, and then the other part is because as a 3 3/4 inch, she's still really small, but super cool. Within the packaging, though, you do get a redemption certificate for an Episode 1. This is the Qui-Gon Jinn and Eopie. Or Opie, you know. Anyways, I remember this, and I really badly wanted to send it in, but I never could save my money, and I never had enough money to want to send it in to wait for something like this to come. But there's the little slip for it. You also do, this is back when they still did the little catalogs inside the action figures, which I truly believe they stopped doing since the internet has become so accessible to younger kids. The whole reason for toy catalogs was so that you can look through them, because you can't drive yourself to the store. And so this was the case still for the 2009 figures. So it's just really fun to look back. Again, really nostalgic to me to be able to see these. And the light behind it might kind of be affecting the picture, but I just think they're cool. I like them a lot. So anyways, moving on to Ahsoka. She does have a couple accessories. Sorry if I'm looking up over here. There's a guy with hay who's come to drop off for our horses. So I'm making sure that he's not going to weirdly approach this window for some reason, because I'm paranoid and filming. She does come with this little space helmet, which is on my finger. And the dome looks pretty good. It's nice and clear, not too colored over time. And then it does have a little bit of like a white collar with some red detailing. On Ahsoka's head, I think this is the right way to do it. She fits it well, which is actually pretty cool given that her head is a little abnormal shaped. So that's not too bad at all. She also, of course, does come with her very unique lightsaber. I only have the very original 2008 release of Ahsoka, so I'm excited to get this one. I don't even have the one where she changed her outfit like in the middle of the series. So yeah, only my second one, which is kind of probably bad, but she was always really hard to find for me. So moving on to the figure herself, like I was saying, she's super duper tiny. I have Hera here for comparison. So the Rebels figures are also really tiny, just the animation style. They're thin, And I feel like Hera is still even better than Ahsoka. One good thing about this figure is it was fully articulated. This one's 5-point of articulation, which I really complained about for the longest time. The articulation, but in the end, it doesn't matter because I display these guys in vanilla poses, so I never take advantage of the total articulation that like this Ahsoka would come with, like the bent knees and stuff. I just don't. Not with the small figures, not after the Black Series, which I find more worth my money for what is being charged now. So yeah, just a comparison there. Ahsoka herself does come in a light purple or pink suit, space suit, and then she does wear her normal Jedi boots, which are like a brighter pink or maybe kind of a red color, and they go up to her shins. She does have a belt, which has this little flap for, I think it was like her Torga Heritage or something like that. The belt looks like a Clone Trooper belt, but it's very, very small to fit her tiny waist. She does have gloves that match her boots, with the little buckles on the side. Again, that's part of her original costume, I believe. And her face doesn't look too bad. Her little head tails are very small because she's still a kid. And she's got good detailing on the front of the face. Good paint applications there. I think she definitely really looks like Ahsoka. And then in terms of articulation, she's very bendable. I can tell just by holding her. Her head is in a ball joint. Her arms move all the way around in all kinds of directions. Her torso swivels. And then her hips move side to side, and the knees are on a ball hinge, as well as the ankles. So you do get a fair bit of articulation. I'm really happy that the helmet is removable and comes off. This is something I feel like that now that with the new era of Star Wars that we're in, that Hasbro no longer approaches, perhaps because of cost, but you can fit an alien head inside of a helmet. I am just saying, because they have made so many aliens with helmets that fit them, and then we did have a time period where, I think we still do, where certain figures come with a replaceable head in a helmet, or they are molded on, and I think that that's totally unnecessary. It probably costs that way because, you know, machining a removable helmet is probably kind of expensive, but it really was super quality. I mean, I definitely like this feature, and I'm sad that it kind of has gone away. And then, you know, you can't also use the excuses like, oh, well, it's an alien, so we'll just mold it onto the head. I don't know if anybody's ever used that excuse, but I'm just saying. So yeah, I really enjoy that feature. And then, of course, you can have her with her lightsaber. I believe that this episode that she's in here is still pretty early on in the series, where they're still getting used to each other. Anakin and Ahsoka, that is. So it's a cool little outfit. You definitely, when displaying her, will have to use tack for her feet because they are so tiny. And she's definitely very top heavy, but a very cool character nonetheless. And I'm super happy to have found her for $8 at Vintage Stock because I've never had her before. So it's always really nice when you get a brand new character that's actually kind of old. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this figure below. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.